all but Mommy's family. Great supportive community, close-knit caring family. We're non-judgy, blanket fuzzy, stigma-free. All but Mommy's family, friends, family, and community. We all but Mommy's family. Teacher sharing is our key. Great big thanks to you all.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Stigma Stompers, a NAMI of Erie County, Pennsylvania podcast, the one and only. I am one of your hosts, Abby.
And I'm your other host, Janana.
And today we have a very special guest, local celebrity here in Erie. We have with us today C. Brown.
Hello.
He is here to kind of introduce personal stories to the podcast. So we're just going to be talking to him about music, mental health, all the things. So yeah, if you want to give us a bit of your background and how you became so passionate about both music and mental health advocacy.
Born and raised in Erie, PA. Got into music around 8 years old. My grandmother, Mary Alice Brown, was a jazz musician here. So I kind of got my passion from music from her, and I just went full throttle with it later on in life. You know, started writing poetry. Poetry got to turn into music, and I just got a lot of opportunities from just being persistent and passionate, and here I am.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you have a tremendous story, so I'm excited for us to dive deep into it, and we appreciate you taking the time to share it with us and all of our listeners as well.
Absolutely.
All right. So I know you just touched a little bit on it, but do you mind diving a little bit deeper about your background and how you became so passionate about both music and mental health advocacy?
As far as music goes, I think, you know, because of my grandmother and because I grew up in a household that just loved music, my mother, brother, sister, my sister, she sings, I kind of just inherited that. And I've always had a passion for creating. I love to come up with things. I love to come up with ideas. I've just always been fascinated about what the mind can create and bring to fruition. So with being able to do music and having a passion for creativity, it just kind of blended together later on in life. And then growing up around friends who actually did music, I just wanted to take a crack at it myself. And I found that music was a vessel for me to express my thoughts, you know, a lot of my innermost and I don't want to say dark, but just very deep thoughts that I had growing up dealing with mental health. And I started using music as a fuel for me to vent and to show other people that, you know, we're human and that we do go through things mentally and emotionally. So it's been very therapeutic for me.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Did you find it that it was easier to, you know, since they're such tough topics and there's still that stigma surrounding mental health, did you find it easier instead of talking to just kind of sing through what you're going through?
Way easier because growing up, mental health wasn't a discussion. It wasn't a conversation in society. It existed, but we never gave it a label. And I don't think we ever gave it an opportunity to really talk about it and express it. So for the longest, I was just very quiet. I was very shy, and I always felt like whenever I would speak, nobody wanted to listen or they misunderstood what I was trying to say. So once I found music, I just kind of let it all out, and I wasn't as bashful as I used to be, and I just felt better. You know, whatever I would write and record, I felt better afterwards, and I just kept going with it. So, you know, it wasn't the whole I'm trying to be a superstar or anything type of thing. It was just, it was good for me. It was my alleviation. It was my relief. And that's why I appreciate music to this day.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
If you're comfortable, can you tell us a little bit more about your own personal mental health journey?
Yeah, for sure. So for the longest, I had low self-esteem. And when I tell people that, they're like surprised because they see me on stages and doing songs, shows, whatnot, and they can't believe that I would be so insecure. And I grew up very insecure. Started when I was around 5. I remember telling myself, I'm a loser. I can't do this. I can't do that. And that's pretty deep for a 5-year-old to say that. And I remember it. And there's family members who can vouch for that. And I think it came from not having a father around because he died early. He passed away when I was 3. So I didn't have anybody to like pick me up. You know, my brother, he's 18 years older than me. You know, he has his own life. My sister is 9 years older than me. She's going through her growing pains. And my mother, what I came to find out is that she had her own traumas. So I just grew up not really having anybody to give me reassurance on who I am and what I can be in this life. So I just grew up just very uncertain of my own capabilities, and just felt like I was dumb. I felt like I was ugly. You know, I was made fun of a lot and didn't know how to handle it. And it stayed with me all the way to my adulthood. And even had, you know, times in my life where I wanted to check myself out, you know, and that started around 13. Like I was just, I just felt like exactly, you know, and I felt like a complete failure and just wanted to just hide away from the world because I didn't know what to do. You know, there was no other alternative in my mind to handle what I was experiencing emotionally. But thank God for music, because it allows me to channel those thoughts and those negative energies, to kind of like just get it off my chest, get it off my mind so I can breathe easy. So
yeah, I think that's a good point. I feel like a lot of people don't realize that mental health challenges can start at such a young age.
Yeah.
I mean, those are real feelings that kids are feeling. Sometimes they don't even know what's going on or how to express it. So maybe they, you know, start to act out and people are like, oh, they're just misbehaving. But sometimes it could just be that, you know, they just have all these emotions and they don't know how to deal with them.
right.
I feel like a lot of times people think it's kids misbehaving, or they think it's kids trying to get out of something. So like a lot of symptoms in, I mean everyone, but especially kids, for like anxiety, it shows up as a stomach ache. So they're saying their stomach hurts, but really they're anxious. And I think it's dismissed. So
Right.
it may be young, but you went through something at 3 that could have shaped your mindset to 5.
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't think people take that seriously enough.
No,
Yeah.
they don't. And that's why I'm so happy that now it's more of a common topic. And I feel like more and more people should, you know, discuss it, because we're all going through it. And I've dealt with it pretty much all of my life and never really had anybody to turn to, you know, and especially like my mother. Like she was great and she was my best friend, but she dealt with her own mental health issues that I didn't realize she had. So it was hard for her to be of some support to me because she was troubled as well. You know, she lost her father at a very young age and dealt with things with her own mother, you know, and trying to get that relationship on track. So, I mean, what I want to do is kind of just break the cycle and let people know that it's okay to feel what we feel, and it's normal, it's human, and that we should talk about it amongst one another.
Yeah. And a question for you, for those listening who might be going through the same thing and struggling, and, you know, maybe they don't know what to do, where to turn, who to go to, or they feel like they have no support because of stigma. Do you have any advice to them?
First, I would say to ask yourself, how long do you want to feel this way, right? And I address all of my peers that way, that's going through something. You know, do you want to feel this way for the next 5 months, next 5 years? And they would say, no, I don't. Okay, so now that you know that, talk to someone, you know, whether it's a therapist or a close friend. Talk to somebody. I just got into therapy probably about 3 years ago, and it has done wonders for me. And it made me go out into the world and just do things that make me happy, you know. So I would say find someone to talk to, recognize that you don't want to feel this way for the rest of your life, and just be active, be proactive in your life, you know. Do something that can take you away from those thoughts. Do something that empowers you. Do something that makes you happy. And I always try to find something that makes me happy every day.
Yeah, I love that. I feel like sometimes we forget. We get so wrapped up in life. We forget one thing we try to do is have people talk about what they're grateful for to kind of bring it back to what makes you happy, who's there to support you. I think that's a good point.
Yeah, it's very important to do that. You know, every day I try to remind myself that I'm here to make this day great.
Yeah.
You know?
Gratitude can be so hard too, because I feel like the way gratitude is talked about can be so dismissive. But and like trying to force people to find these like grand things that they're grateful for, where it can be something as simple as like, you woke up today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you had a roof over your head and food to eat. And socks to keep your feet warm. Like it can be something really small. So I think there's some times where gratitude can be sort of like toxic positivity. But if you use it the right way, then it can be really life-changing.
Yeah, I mean, on top of that, I don't think that we use gratitude enough. We kind of just get on autopilot and just go about our day. We go to work, we come home, you know, we eat, we go to bed, you know, rinse and repeat, instead of just embracing the fact that we woke up and that we do have a job, or that we do have family and friends, or that we do have, you know, a lifetime full of great memories to share amongst one another. You know, we don't take advantage of those things. So every day I try to be grateful for everything. And to get even more personal, it was my brother who I would have to say kind of saved me at one point a couple years ago. And you know, I was at a very low point, and we met somewhere and we were talking, and he said to me, you know, you're my kid's only uncle. And I didn't realize that at all, like, you know, because his wife, her siblings are all, you know, they're gone, and it's just me and my sister and my brother. And he, you know, when he pointed that out, it made me realize that I do have people looking up to me. You know, I am an uncle. I'm a great uncle, actually, you know. So I have a great niece and two great nephews. So when he said that, though, it just made me realize that there are people in this world that I have to be here for. And because I was going through my own turmoil, I didn't realize that, you know, when you're going through mental health issues, or when you're on the brink of suicide, it blinds you from that. And I didn't realize how selfish you really become when you're in that dark place. So when he said that to me, it was like an epiphany, like, wow, like I forgot about your children, bro. Like I didn't, and you know, I'm always trying to be there for them, but when I was going through my own personal hell, I didn't think about them. I didn't think about him or my sister and her kids, but I'm glad that he said that. So we never know how important we are to other people sometimes, and we need to keep ourselves in check and realize that there are other people who want us here.
Yeah, that is true.
There was a I worked at Giant Eagle as a cashier like years ago in high school, and we had a customer who was like smiling face. He was unhoused, but he would come in, he would get his candy bar, and he would smile and talk to you for a second and then leave. And we found out that he had passed, and it hit everyone so hard.
Right.
And he was just like a guy that we would see for 5 minutes at checkout, and he would tell us about his day, and then that was it. But he was just like so important to everyone, and we didn't realize until he was gone.
Right.
Yeah. You never really understand the impact you're making.
Yeah.
Because
you never do.
No, I agree.
I wish we had told him that before he had passed. He passed naturally, but still.
I do love those experiments. I don't know if either of you have seen where people stop others and they're like, hey, call one person and tell them that, you know, you appreciate them and that you love them.
Yeah,
I do love that. Yeah.
Right.
I think I think that should be done more often. And like you mentioned earlier, we get so wrapped up in our lives that we forget to do those things and say, hey, you know, you mean a lot to me. You're important. I love you.
Right.
You know, things like that. So
I feel like telling people that you love them almost is the reminder, and it can pull you. It can pull you out.
Yeah.
Like telling them, that's acknowledging that you have a person that you love that loves you.
Yep.
That would be distraught if you weren't there. So I feel like just doing that alone is like almost like self-care.
Yeah, that is true. I know you discussed music, so let's go back to that topic.
Okay.
In what way do you believe music can be therapeutic or healing for individuals struggling with mental health issues?
From a fan standpoint, because I'm a huge fan of music, I think when you hear something that just resonates with you, it's comforting because it makes you feel like you're not alone, and it makes you feel like somebody understands you. It's like, oh my God, like this artist gets me, and this is exactly how I feel and what I was trying to say. Like even till this day, there are songs that just pull on my heartstrings, you know.
Yeah.
As a musician, you know, like I said previously, just being able to get these thoughts out really helps. It helps so much to write something down, record it, because it's like, okay, that demon is not on my back anymore. Like I got it out. It's like when you let out a scream, you know.
Yeah.
So doing music has been very therapeutic and very just comforting for me, and I think that's another reason why I'm so passionate about it and so consistent, because that's my high, that's my vice, you know, is making music.
Yeah. Do you have any, again, I'm going back to kind of the advice side.
Yeah, you're good.
For those listening who maybe they enjoy music and maybe they want to try to, you know, create their own music, but maybe they've never done it before or they're afraid to give it a try. You know, do you have any advice for those individuals?
Try it. Just try it, because you never know where it might take you. You know, you might blow up from it, or it might just be something that just helps your soul. Try it. And you know, I would say start with journaling, just writing down your thoughts, because that's how I started. You know, I was writing poetry, and it was just me. You know, I was journaling, but I was making it rhyme at the same time. But it wasn't a rap, but it was it was a poem that I would write all the time in my little middle school composition notebook.
Gosh, I haven't seen those in forever.
I feel like we all had one of those.
Yeah.
I think I still have mine.
Oh, wow.
I think I still have it from when I was like 12, 13, whatever. But just go for it. You know, you don't know if God placed that in your life for you to do. It might be your calling, it might be your gift, or it might just be something to help pass the time. But just try it.
The goal, I feel like, doesn't need to be like superstar.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
you don't need to be like.
Super popular, or it doesn't have to be for monetary gain.
No one even has to like it. You don't even have to
Right.
show anyone.
Right.
Like it can just be for you. And I feel like that's honestly like sacred. Like just doing it for yourself.
Yeah, I tell my friends all the time that primarily I do music for me, because of what it does for my mental health,
Yeah.
Right.
and then secondary is everyone else. So if somebody were to be like, "Hey, I didn't really like that song," or
Cool.
guess who doesn't care? I don't.
Right. No, that's yep.
I saw this thing online. Like, not everything is for you.
Right.
You don't have to like everything. Not every single song is for you. Not every single recipe is for you.
Right.
Yeah.
You can scroll past it, and you don't have to listen to it. You don't have to look at it. You can move on.
Exactly.
People are too caught up on liking everything. You don't have to like everything.
No, you don't.
So if someone doesn't like it, cool. It's not for them.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yep. And I feel like there's always, no matter what you talk about, any topic you bring up, I feel like there's always one person or a group of people who might not agree or even like that topic.
Especially with music.
Yeah. So just opinions are different.
Yeah, it's
in
subjective.
everyone.
You know,
Yeah.
it's anybody can have any interpretation or opinion on it, and it's fine. You know, I don't do music to appease everyone.
Right.
Of course, that would be golden, but that's not why I do it. I do it because I actually love it, and it helps me out with a lot of internal things.
And that's all that matters, honestly, is that it's helping you and that,
Yeah.
you know, you find the benefit in it. And other than that, it doesn't really matter what others think.
Right.
Awesome.
Can you share with us a specific song or project, like a personal song or project that has resonated deeply with your audience in terms of mental health awareness?
Yeah, I wrote this song a few years ago and shot a video for it called Dear Sue, and Sue is short for suicide. And I kind of personified suicide, talking about it as if it was a woman, and then at the end of the song you find out that I'm talking about the actual act. I did it for me. I knew it was different. I wasn't for sure how it was going to be received.
Yeah.
But to this day, people still talk to me about it. And that's very important to me, because it's like they got the message. You know, it was one of those songs that I did do for me. And my way of coming out and saying, hey, I know you might see me happy and smiling or dancing in TikTok videos. But I have issues too. And I just want to use my platform to highlight mental health, and that was my way of doing it, and it did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, I love that, because a lot of times, you know, I've heard the quote of the most happiest people are usually the ones struggling the most.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't really catch on to all the symptoms as much as we try to, you know. Sometimes individuals can be good at hiding it, so I do love that.
Yeah.
I have a follow-up question.
Okay.
What's a song or project for you by like another artist that had the same effect for you personally?
So there's this song by Tupac called "So Many Tears."
Yep.
Yeah, and it's one of my favorite songs by him, and every time I listen to it, it just hits me. And I was listening to that at a very young age, and it still resonates with me to this day, because I was like, how can somebody feel this way? How can this man feel this way? But at the same time, there's pieces of that songs that I can relate to, and it's like, oh, this is my jam right here. Like,
Right.
I gotta put this on the playlist. I gotta buy the album. I gotta watch the video. That song gets me a lot. Another one, which is by him, is called "Dear Mama." Everybody knows that song, and that song I always loved that song, but it didn't hit me until my mother passed, and she actually passed away on this day 5 years ago.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, thank you. So when you asked me to be here on this day, I was like, I'm going to choose this day to be here.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you very much for being
Yeah,
here.
we appreciate
for sure.
it. Thank
you. No, thank you guys. Seriously.
Yeah.
So, you know, every time I hear that song, it just gets to me. And I actually saw that song on my playlist when I woke up this morning, which was weird.
Oh my
as
gosh.
ever.
Yeah.
It was so weird. The lights were just flickering. I mean, I don't know what's going on.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
The lingering effects of Halloween. Yeah, that song gets me. I mean, there's so many that does. Another one is "You Found Me" by The Fray.
Yeah.
That song has me like out of here.
Yeah.
Because I understand loss. I understand people drifting apart. I understand people not checking up on you. I understand, you know, somebody finally coming around, but when you needed them, they weren't there. And it's like, where did you go? So that song gets me a lot too. Because I got a thing for like alternative rock on the low that nobody knows. But
To those of you listening,
but now you know.
we're not.
Now you know. But yeah, there's more. There's a plethora of songs, but definitely those that really gets me going and kind of makes me happy in an eerie way, because they're kind of like describing how I feel and how I think. Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of songs that are so deep with their meaning that people don't realize. Like, it's just catchy, so they just sing along.
Yeah.
And I feel like people would relate. Some people can't relate to music at all, which is crazy to me. But I feel like if people listened to the lyrics and what they were saying more, then they would resonate more. And I feel like music could help way more people. And I mean, it already helps like millions of people, but I feel like people should listen to the lyrics more often.
I agree. I just found out what the meaning of the song "Hey Ya" means. That I was doing the.
Yeah, me too.
I
just
know what
did
it
you
was.
crazy, right? I had no idea.
I don't know.
Blew my mind. I mean, basically, so there was this article that popped up on my phone about the meaning of "Hey Ya," and I basically is about being in an unhappy situation with somebody, and how you should kind of separate yourself from that if you're not happy, and I never. Like, that's too profound for that kind of song. And then you listen back to it, it's like, that's exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Blew my mind. So
I had it with like an upbeat.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So we're just all singing and dancing, and this dude is like really telling
a story.
a truthful message.
Wow.
And
People don't give musicians nearly enough credit.
Oh my
for the work
God.
That is true.
They can say so much with like so few words,
Mm-hmm.
and then they hide it.
Right.
With, like an upbeat
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
song.
And when he says, y'all don't hear me, y'all just want to dance, I was like, wow, you were right.
Yeah.
We didn't want to hear you. We just wanted to groove to this joint.
People scream that lyric like joyfully.
Yeah.
But then like and now that you know, you're like,
Do I want to?
So now when I listen to it, it has a whole different meaning to it, which is the actual meaning. So I think that's a beautiful thing. It was so abstract to me, but yeah,
Oh
it's
wow.
crazy.
I never knew that.
listen
Learn
to the
something new.
lyrics of songs harder, like closer.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to
You'll
do
learn
that.
You learn a lot about the artist too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
There's some people that just make music just for like funsies, like fun music,
Right.
but not all of them.
No, I agree. All right. So how has your mental health advocacy influenced your creative process specifically?
It made me want to take more of a stance on it. I find myself being more of an advocate. Instead of just me venting about my own issues, I'm kind of putting out there that we all have issues that need to be handled properly. Never thought I would get to this point because music was just always therapy for me, but now I really want to help people, and I stand by mental health. So I love what you guys are doing.
Thank
you. So I appreciate it. I don't know if you guys were there for the NAMI walk.
Yeah.
Were you guys there?
I was going to bring it up. I was like, you attended our NAMI walk. So we appreciate it.
I was there. Yeah. Yeah. A friend of mine, his birthday is coming up, and he took his own life, and he was struggling with some things. So I was there on behalf of his family and whatnot, and just wanted to be there, period.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a great cause.
Thank you.
So with music, I try to do the same thing, and I try to shed light. So I told myself every project that I put out, there's going to be a song, at least a song or two dedicated to like mental health.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you joining us. It meant a lot seeing everyone there. It was for a first walk. We've discussed this multiple times. It was very successful, in our opinion, at least. I mean, we had a great turnout.
I thought it could have been.
It was beautiful.
I agree. Yeah.
Like,
the weather and everything.
Yeah, I thought you guys did that like multiple times because there were so many people there. I was like, oh, is this the annual? This is the fifth one?
It was a good turnout. And we had a lot of cute dogs there. Oh my goodness.
NAMI Walks 2025 is September 14th. So
gotcha.
Hard launch.
When this goes out, they might know. But
that's true.
Yeah.
We start advertising for it
immediately.
Early,
January 1st, we started up again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hopefully we'll see you again this year there.
I'll be there.
Perfect. Related again to your advocacy, how have your fans and community responded to it?
They are very welcoming of me taking this stance on mental health. Because a lot of them know what I've been through. And I think a lot of them didn't see this coming as far as me talking about it and rapping about it or whatnot. So I think for them it's just nice to see something different. It's nice to see me be sort of vulnerable and open about such topics, about depression, suicide, anxiety, things of that nature. I think they really I think they accept it. I think they appreciate it more than anything because they're going through something too.
Yeah.
And as long as they're going through something, I always want to take a stance and say, hey, I get it. Like, I understand. And I know what it's like to feel voiceless. I know what it's like to feel helpless and hopeless. If me making music about it can help the next person, so be it. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did that support surprise you? Because, again, going back to that stigma, a lot of individuals, they hold back because they're afraid of that backlash. What are people going to say? What is my family? What are my friends going to say?
Right.
If I say I'm struggling with mental health challenges. So you receiving that support is absolutely beautiful. But did that surprise you at all?
It did surprise me because there was that part of me that was like apprehensive of even putting that sort of content out there and not knowing how it's going to be received. Because I won't lie, I felt like a weirdo sort of because I'm like, okay, I'm kind of getting a little dark here, but I'm going to put it out anyway, and whatever happens, happens. But then, when I would turn back around and read the comments and get the inbox messages, it's like, okay, this was meant to happen. I'm on the right path.
I feel like darkest, most vulnerable artists have the biggest impact. I think that's way more important than anything else.
Yeah.
So keep doing it.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree. If you
Even if you could touch one person.
I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say that.
And I think there's a ripple effect. Even if I touch one person, they might leave with my message and then touch 5 other people.
Yeah.
So it's important for me to continue making music like this. I feel like this is who I am. I feel like I'm finally stepping into what I'm meant to do and who I am as an artist, which is to talk about mental health issues, which I've always talked about, but I wasn't aware of the position. I was just doing it because it was a relief for me. Now I just want to present it to people and let them know that, you know, mental health is a universal thing. You don't have to feel some type of way about it. You know, I understand that you're going through something. Here it is. Hopefully you can connect with it, and hopefully it helps you.
Yeah. No, I love that. Have you collaborated with any mental health organizations or initiatives, and what impact has that had?
I've done stuff with NAMI.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, maybe we'll do some more stuff in the future.
Yeah, but I actually did stuff with you guys a few years ago. I did Zoom meetings with people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
And yeah, I can't remember who contacted me, but they kind of like gave me the go ahead to do these Zoom meetings on you guys' page and have an open discussion about mental health. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, we'll definitely have to talk more about possibly collaborating in some other ways.
I
Yeah.
would love to do some kind of like concert.
Yeah, I would love to too as well. Like,
Yeah.
I think about that a lot.
If you know of any more like mental health artists as well, so we could do like a big concert.
Concert at Perry Square.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Wanted to do it for like 2 years.
I know. The reason I brought it up was because of yesterday's meeting.
It's possible.
Yeah,
It's very
absolutely.
possible.
Yeah, we're trying to think of new events coming up. We know we're keeping NAMI walks. That we're not changing for sure. Our movie night.
It's only too good to not.
Yeah, so some of them we're still keeping because we know that the community loves them. But we want to add something new too. So maybe that's something we can work on.
Maybe a NAMI Walk concert.
Yeah, I like
After the walk, have a show.
I do like that. She is the one who plans NAMI walks. So
Oh, okay. This is
the big boss.
the ambassador over here. Okay.
I'm it.
Yeah. Yeah, I just do the advertising. She plans it all.
Yeah, no, that was a great event. Great event.
She does a good job. She's going to get started soon. I know it.
I still got my picture in the car that I took in the photo booth.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
I want to get like props or stuff next year.
Oh,
so.
yeah. I wonder if the DJ has props. I know sometimes DJs have props.
Yeah, I have no idea.
We should look at that. Perfect. Sorry, we digressed
You're
a little bit.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Let's see. Where do we want to go? I guess, what have you learned about yourself as an artist and as an advocate through the entirety of your mental health journey?
That I feel a lot. I feel a whole lot.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is that I'm very passionate about things that I go through and that I have gone through, and that I'm very empathetic for other people. Like, other people's stories sometimes pull on my heartstrings, you know. And I just through doing music, through taking a stance on mental health, it made me want to be more of a healer. And now I know I can't heal the world. I'm only one person, but I just want to contribute. And I just want people to feel better about themselves as well as me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, I love that. So I know you discussed music. Is there any other things that you do to help with your mental health? Even if there's self-care tips,
Right.
If there's anything you'd like to share about that.
So I started taking walks like every day in the summer around like 6 o'clock for like 2 hours. And the walk for me is my way of centering myself, being one with outside, being one with God, and just embracing the moment and being happy that I'm not where I used to be. You know, because we're always thinking about the future. We all wish that we could have a lot more, but sometimes you just need to be grateful for what you have right now. And by taking those walks, it allows me to appreciate the moment, to appreciate that, man, I've lost so many people, but I'm still here. And that gives me more of a purpose and makes me realize that I have a reason to be here. So that helps a lot, just taking walks and just, you know, appreciating life, not getting caught up in work, bills, finances, what other people want from you. Just being one with yourself.
I love that. Yeah. I feel like, again, we forget to do that a lot.
We do.
Yeah. I love that.
I say it all the time. All the time. You are the only person that you have to spend the rest of your life with.
I like that.
You're the only one
Yeah.
that you're going to spend every single day with for the rest of your life.
Right.
So you need to pour into yourself 100%.
Yeah.
You can give to anyone else.
You have to be your own best friend. You have to have a relationship with yourself.
You have to be comfortable being alone with yourself,
Yep.
alone with your thoughts, be fully in love with yourself before you can give anything to anyone else.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really important.
It's a party at my house. It's me and my shadow.
Yep, exactly. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so that's one thing, right? Therapy, obviously, don't be afraid to seek professional help. It does a lot. I'm a totally different person from who I was 3 years ago, even though I still have my moments. We all do, but I'm not who I used to be. My therapist read my notes from when I first came in, and he was like, this is who you were when you were, your first few sessions. And I'm like, wow, I had so much pent up, so much frustration, so much depression, and just all these ill emotions that I was feeling to the point where I almost didn't even recognize who he was talking about. It was like, that was me? Like, my bad, bro. Like,
Yeah. Sometimes it takes time, but looking back on the progress of like even a year, it's tremendous to see. Yeah.
Hang around people that that love you. Hang around those friends. I got friends that I've known since I was 8 years old, 12 years old. I always try to make it a point to get together. Like, hey, what are you doing this Sunday? Let's all get together and get some food or something. Let's go watch the game, or hey, let's have a gathering at my house. Surround yourself with real love. Will help you out tremendously. It gives you that reassurance that you're looking for, that sometimes you can't pull out of yourself.
Yeah.
So always stay in touch with your family and friends. Don't ever let them go, because once they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah.
And they can be the greatest pick-me-uppers without even knowing it. My friends give me one heck of a time, and I love them to pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that saying, stay close to people that feel like sunshine.
Yep.
And if you leave a conversation, hang out with, a dinner with someone, and you just feel good, stay near them.
Yeah.
Don't get rid of them.
Yep.
That could be a great thing for your t-shirts you're making. For those listening, Abby.
Gianna loves to throw a plug.
I try my best. If you want to take it away.
Well, we have a t-shirt store, and I designed all the t-shirts on there, so we get a portion of the proceeds for every shirt sold. So
Nice.
And she does it. We right now. I know when this goes up.
We're filming. By the way, we're filming this episode in November.
Yeah. So she did have holiday ones that are
still buy
super
'em.
cute. Yeah, they do stay up
It's
actually.
just March now. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could be prepared for the next holiday.
Yeah. There we go.
Exactly.
For sure. I like that.
I'll make an Easter one.
There you go.
like
Exactly. So with creating music, there's that negative scrutiny sometimes.
Yep.
Like we talked about, there's that backlash or people saying rude comments. You're going to get that a lot.
Yep.
How do you maintain your mental health when it comes to that side of things?
For every one person that has something negative to say about you, there's two people that will appreciate you. And I had to learn that, over a long process of me trying to figure myself out. Because in the early stages of my my journey with music, I didn't take backlash too well. I didn't take criticism too well. Anybody that didn't like something destroyed me. But I was overlooking the people who did appreciate it, the people who do play the songs and the videos and come out to the shows. I didn't realize that there was way more of them than the people who didn't like what I was doing.
Yeah.
And I don't have anything against anybody that criticizes me or scrutinizes me any type of way. Obviously, they're entitled to their own opinion. And everybody is wired differently. Maybe you're not wired to like what I do, or maybe I didn't do what you expected. It's cool.
Right.
I don't let it affect my mental health anymore, because at the end of the day, I'm way too passionate about what I do to even stop. There was one time in my life where I was like, you know what, I'm done doing this. And I was 23, and I ended up picking it right back up. So, I can't deny what was calling me and what pulls on my heart because of a negative comment or somebody saying something about me. It just makes me want to I mean, it might be petty, but it makes me want to make them talk even more.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, this guy didn't like this song. Well, I'm going to do 5 more songs. I sound just like that song. And make more people like it. I'm just going to do more videos. I'm just going to do more shows. And it is now my fuel because I'm starting to love me. And I'm starting to understand that, okay, maybe these people over here don't like what I do, but I love what I do. And I am my own fan. And at the end of the day, I need my own validation first. There's a reason why I've been granted so many opportunities throughout the years. I must be doing something right. So I can't let this one person that's saying something negative about me destroy me, because there's going to be more of them. And I'll probably never even meet that person or ever see them. And even if I do, it'll never stop me. Because I've had that happen before. Like, hey, you should do this and do that. No. No, whatever. I'm just going to keep doing me because that's what makes me happy and warms my heart.
I feel like in life in general, you'll always get people who try to give you advice that is not asked for per se. And maybe sometimes it's not the nicest advice either. But at the end of the day, I think kind of what we've been talking about this whole time, focusing on what makes you happy.
Right.
And not worrying about the rest.
Yeah, you can't do that, because if you worry about what everybody has to say about you, it will hinder you from being the best version of yourself. And you'll always live in their shadow and their opinion of you. You'll finally become what they're saying about you. And that's not the goal.
Yeah.
So I don't really listen.
That's true. Yeah, I love that.
I guess we'll go to what is next for you in terms of your music and your advocacy.
Pretty much more of what I'm doing now. I want to be on more platforms talking about this. I want to be a part of, organizations a little bit more and taking more of a prominent stance on mental health and really show people that this is what I'm about and this is what I care for. Same with the music. I'm just going to continue to shed light on these topics because there's too many people going through depression and whatnot, questioning themselves and not feeling like they have a purpose. So I just want to continue to be a voice for them, and just more of what I'm doing now.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate everything that you're doing.
Thank you. Likewise.
We've heard nothing but positive stuff. Keep doing an amazing job, and thank you for joining us today. We truly appreciate it, sharing your experience. I know it's not easy to share personal stories, but we truly do appreciate you being the first one to join us and sharing what you've gone through. I want to give you a chance now for those listening that would like to listen to your music, to kind of, as we know, I love to give plugs.
I see that.
So if you'd like to share where people can listen, what to search for, and
everything is on my website, www.cbrown.com. That's ceebrown.com. My music videos, my biography, photos, whatever you're looking for is all on that website.
Perfect. Awesome.
And it'll link you to everything else, to Facebook, Twitter, IG, all of that good stuff.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Is there any new releases on the horizon?
Always. Always. I had to think for a second. But yeah, there's always something coming. I plan on doing a video this month and probably dropping it early December or maybe the day that it's done edited. Who knows? Yeah. But I'm always trying to stay consistent. But yeah, there's definitely something coming. And I've been trying to take more of a role on like women empowerment. Which is something new for me because I've just had so many bad experiences in my own personal life, dating. And a lot of people thought, like, I don't want people to think like, oh, he just hates women. It's like, no, that's not it. Like, I grew up in a household full of women. Like, my mom is my superhero. So with my music, I've been trying to shed light on that as well. So it's like mental health and, you gotta appreciate the good women in this world and stuff like that. So that's been kind of like my, trajectory. Artistically.
I love that. I appreciate it.
Thank you as a woman.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Exactly.
For sure.
Thank you.
I feel like we get that back sometimes.
Unfortunately.
I mean, listening to my music, I'm like, man, it makes me sound like I'm sexist, but I'm not at all. I'm just talking about what I've been through with these people. Yeah. And I just found myself writing, more positively about women, because like I said, I grew up in a household full of women. It was my mom, sister, grandma. My brother, he already moved out. You know, my puppy was a female. Like everybody was a woman. Everyone. And sometimes I lose sight of that. And it's like, you know, I really appreciate women, you know, just as much as males. So I'm just trying to highlight, you know, what I feel is important and what needs to be heard, you know, without compromising who I am. It's just another side of who I am.
Right.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. You're, like I said, doing tremendous work. We appreciate all your
Same
support to NAMI. Again, being here. So thank you again.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Stigma Stompers Podcast. We truly appreciate all your support.
If you want to see more about what we do in our community, make sure you check out our website. It's namierie.org. Make sure you also click on our t-shirt store tab so you can buy a t-shirt. We get a portion of all the proceeds. And make sure you sign up for our newsletter. It has all of our programming and event updates.
Another way you can get involved is if you feel comfortable sharing your personal story. You can email us at info@namierie.org, or you can give us a call at 814-456-1773.
Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Bye.